Why is Hamas so angry? I'm sure that a lot of us are asking that question because the images and the commentary that is very emotional, very emotionally tugging. Like you, I'm hoping that it has caused us to kind of ask those questions. Like out of nowhere, all of a sudden they're coming and just bombing places and trying to take over. That's what the media is leading us to believe. Well, I've learned over the years to not really depend on what I see, more so what I research and what I come up with. And some of the next slides is what I've just come up with, and I want to share it with you all in a three-part series because there's a lot to, in a sense, unpack with this international civil unrest. And I also know if you're like me, my attention span isn't the longest, so I want to make it as brief as possible. However, I don't want to miss important parts. So the research that I've gotten thus far is leading me to believe that the chickens are coming home to roost. In researching, I discovered that Israel had planted these seeds a long time ago, and now they're reaping what they were allowed to sow for decades. And I say allowed because without interference from other countries, mainly the United States, they wouldn't have had the financial backing to even get to where they are now. America has created and funded and benefited from years of domestic and international terrorist attacks more than any other country in history. We've demonstrated and displayed consistent political, social, and religious hypocrisy towards every nation that we've sought to occupy and or control. We are one of the most tone deaf countries when it comes to appreciating, respecting, and honoring the cultures, the norms, and the mores of other countries. Instead, we expect all nations to mirror us, whatever that looks like, because thanks to technology, the whole world is seeing what dirty laundry the United States has had for centuries. So when I reviewed the behaviors of these two countries, I saw similarities. In 1947, a group of people migrated to Palestine. That's what this image is representing. Let's ask ourselves, what happened to those people that were there to make room for the migrants? Take a take a look and focus on the green. The green represents the Palestinians living on their land from 1948 into 2000. Do you see how the green has diminished? Well, it diminished because 750,000 of the 1.9 million Palestinians were expelled from their native land. With the backing of the United States, Zionist forces were allowed to take over 78% of historic Palestine. That's what you're seeing right now. The Zionist forces were allowed to ethnically cleanse and destroy over 500 villages and cities, and to kill over 15,000 Palestinians in over 70 massacres. And our goal was basically to undercut British influence in the region and strengthen our own in the Middle East. An aide for Truman, Harry S. Truman, admitted that Israel could become a strategic asset, a kind of aircraft carrier to protect American interests in the Mediterranean and the Middle East. We don't care about the civilians. We don't care about their democracy. We're not concerned about how they're living their day to day lives and how to improve it, because that's what we always say. They finally admitted that it was really for the benefit of having spies in foreign land. This is a picture of the Prime Minister, Chaim Weizmann, in 1948, with Harry S. Truman, accepting a gift to say thank you for allowing us to wipe out a whole people. Again, we're smiling at the very people that massacred a whole group of natives. Green is Palestinians, 1948. 2000, same Palestinians. Look how small that is. This image is what happened to those Palestinians who were removed from their land. This reflects them having to take the little that they had and having to walk now to another place because their place has been taken from them. If you were the Palestinians and your people were subjugated to this, how long would you endure this type of subjugation before you responded? If this was your grandmother, your great grandmother, your auntie, whomever, and they had experienced this type of devastation, would you continue to be okay with that and just say, this is just what it is? And I'm hoping that these images resonate with the comparison of the Trail of Tears here in America with under, I think it was Andrew Jackson. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I think it was Andrew Jackson under his presidency that they made the Native Americans leave their own land and was so egregious as to give them blankets that were covered with, I think, smallpox. I know it was a disease. Again, let me know if it's another one or if it is smallpox. I think it was smallpox. And that's just not just egregious, that's diabolical. And this is what we did over here. So why would the United States not be okay and be on board with them doing it to another people if we do it to ourselves? Again, a picture of a smile because we're happy at what we've done and what we've accomplished by wiping out an entire group of people. The left represents how the territories were divided before our interference in 1967. Pay attention to Syria, Egypt, and Jordan. Under Nixon's administration, Israel was assisted to launch war against Egypt. And with Egypt, they took over the Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula. That's down in the left corner. Israel took over the Golan Heights, which is up at the top corner right, from Syria. See what's going on before 1967 and after 1967. Israel took over the West Bank and East Jerusalem from the Jordanians. Again, pay attention to where and how Jordan is before our interference and after. If you were a Jordanian, an Egyptian, and a Syrian, how long would you tolerate that? How long would you be okay with the fact that someone else from another country, another culture, just came over and assisted Zionist forces, migrants, to take over their land and your land? How would you feel? Pay attention to the green. That's the Palestinian Authority. They have been shrank to that small amount since 1967. This next picture, you may not be familiar with the woman, but I'm hoping that you're familiar with the man in the middle. That's Lyndon B. Johnson, a Republican president. And beside him is the Secretary of State. Under him, Henry Kissinger. And if you're not familiar with Kissinger, I would really encourage you to definitely research him because he was something else. He was one that truly believed in America taking over the world, if you will, and not necessarily caring who they had to stomp on in order to get that done. This woman was Golda Meir. She was an Israeli politician who served as the fourth prime minister of Israel from 1969 to 1974. Pay attention to where she was born, Ukraine. Explain to me how a Ukrainian can become a prime minister of Jerusalem if there's no backing from America. That's like saying a German can come over here and just the next month, the next year, become president of our United States of America. Or a Scandinavian. Let's just go there. Would we be okay with that? The fact that they don't know anything about our culture, they haven't been ingrained with our culture. They might have taken a couple civic courses to learn about us, but other than that, they don't know anything about us. Would we be okay being under their subjugation? This is reflecting Nixon with the Minister of Defense of Israel. If we were a Palestinian, if we were a Syrian or a Jordanian or an Egyptian, and we saw these images, and we see how the United States is kikiing with the very same people that oppressed us, that wiped us out, would we be okay with that? And if so, how long would we be okay with that? This is a picture of Kissinger meeting with another prime minister in 1975, discussing Israel, the state of Israel. On that same year, Kissinger's meeting with the Egyptian president at the time, Anwar Sadat. We are saying by us sitting with them, even though we permitted another group of people to come over here to your land, wipe out your people, take your land, we want y'all to sit down and negotiate with us and see how we can resolve this when we ourselves created the mess. But this is what America is known for. We go over to other countries. We don't care about the culture. We don't care about the mores. We don't care about the norms or what has been going on for centuries prior to us getting there. We see that there is some type of American interest at stake. We will do whatever we can to take that. Not being proactive, not bringing everybody to the table. No, 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 no. We react. And it's a very selfish way that we react. What can this country, what can this situation do for us? You will see in this next slide how the Israeli wars, again, are stemming from 1948, beginning with the Nakba, and how it just continued. In 1967, with the Six-Day War, it was Israel versus those same countries, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. So 20 years later, they're trying to get their land back. 1967 and 1970, the War of Attrition. Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, along with the assistance of the USSR and the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, they're trying to get their land back. 1973, the same thing with the Yom Kippur War. Israel versus Egypt and Syria. Again, they're trying to get their land back. If that was you, wouldn't you finally have enough and want to get your land back? We're going to go further into the why things happen the way they do. Chickens are coming home to roost. In the next two episodes of chickens are coming home to roost. In the meantime, between time, leave a few comments. Definitely subscribe if you haven't. Share if you feel the need to. Please be respectful in the comments. I appreciate all feedback, very much constructive, or however, because this is a work in progress. I'm just getting back on the scene. As a matter of fact, on my second channel that's listed there under Crace TV, Critical Race Theory TV, I will go into kind of what prolonged me being able to upload content. If you don't want to wait a week until then, check out my spot funding that I've included here as well, and it will go into detail what I'm going to discuss more extensively on that second channel. And you will understand why it's taken me a minute to get back. Again, there's an email address. Share if there's anything else you want to discuss with other countries. We can definitely expand on that because that's what this platform is about. It's about getting different perspectives and integrating them so that we can together and collectively move forward. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience because it has been a while. And I appreciate you all going on this journey with me because I want it to be as organic as possible where we're growing together, we're learning together so we can, again, collectively become one, that we can make this world a better place. And in order for that, we have to unpeel the onion or peel the banana. And even if it's rotten, we have to know where that rotten come from, that rot comes from. And that's what this channel is kind of about, to, in a sense, unpack what we've been told and re-educate ourselves on what it really is and what it really was. It's not going to be the best feelings that we get during the journey. At the end of this journey, I'm hoping that we are more holistically empathetic to why people do the things they do as opposed to judging. Because judge not and ye be not judged, right? Just think about that, let them marinate. Again, review the presentation. Share your comments, your suggestions, your insight, your perspectives, your questions, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Um, Check out the second YouTube channel again to kind of see what's going on um, within the next week or so. And also check out my Spot Find Me that I've included here, along with um, dropping a few lines if you want via email, crazetv@gmail.com. And also check out our new business that we are exploring, smashtherapymobile.com. And until next time, please love each other. And if we don't understand things, ask as opposed to assuming. And put yourself in the next person's shoes because you never know, you may be in that person's shoes. So, again, thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience. And until next time, Ashe.